So this video isn't going to be anything particularly enlightening or even that important in a lot of ways, but I wanted to talk about an indication that you can look for in your crushes or potential romantic partners or whatever, that they could be someone who's controlling, and then taking it a step further would be potential abuser alert, essentially. So I was talking to a guy from OkCupid, just texting, nothing really even that serious. And in our conversation, he had called me sweetheart, which is a term of endearment, but I don't really feel comfortable with people calling me that I'm not like in a relationship with. And even then, it's not really my favorite term. It just kind of makes me feel skeevy. So I said that. I said it wasn't really something that I wanted to be called. And he got really defensive and basically said that I shouldn't feel like it was a big deal for him to call me that. And I basically was like, whoa there, buddy. Okay, first of all, you should never tell somebody what they should or shouldn't be feeling about something. And this is like a boundary of mine that you need to respect. And he just didn't really seem to fully get it because there was another topic that we disagreed on, and I don't even think the sweetheart thing was a disagreement, but we had a disagreement, and he kind of had a similar reaction with like, well, you shouldn't feel this way about this topic. And I'm just like, that's not the way to disagree with someone. So yeah, and then we didn't really talk again, and then today he texted me out of the blue, and I was like, oh, I kind of thought like you had just disappeared because I hadn't heard from you. And he was like, oh, I was just super busy, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, I don't think anybody's too busy to like send a text message. No one. So, yeah, I was immediately skeptical. And I don't know, he wasn't really anyone that interesting. Like, I had to actually think about who he was and like reread our conversation to even really remember it because I just totally forgot about him. Didn't even have his number saved in my phone. And so I was just like, all right, let's just like, I don't know, I guess see if this is anything interesting. And um I don't know, I mean the conversation was going fine, I guess. Nothing particularly special. But then he called me sweetheart again. And from the last conversation, because I had looked back and read it, I saw that whole thing and remembered it. And then said basically the same thing. And I said that had told him already that I didn't want to be called sweetheart and that I'm not comfortable with it. And why is he like continuing to do it when I already said that I didn't like it? And he basically pulled out the same line that like I should not think it's a big deal because it's a term of endearment. And I was like, okay, I understand that what that means. But that's not important because what is important is that I told you that I do not want to be called sweetheart, and yet here you are doing it again. And then he was like, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to upset you. And I was like, well, I don't really think you're that sorry because if you were sorry, you wouldn't have done it again when you already knew that it was not something that I was comfortable with. And I just have a huge issue with anyone telling me, what I should or shouldn't be feeling about something. And I basically even said that like that is a sign of someone who is controlling. And it's true. Like if somebody is doing that you're interacting with, and they um like do things that intentionally are meant to piss you off, but then like they make you the bad guy, like saying like, oh, you shouldn't feel that way, it's a compliment or it's a term of endearment, or I was trying to be nice or whatever, like that's a sign that they're controlling. Because they already know the boundaries, they already know what's up, and yet they're still doing it. And then, especially if they immediately apologize and retract, it's basically like a shorter version of the cycle of abuse, like getting to the honeymoon stage in like a couple of text messages, but that's definitely a sign if you see that pattern that continues and keeps happening. Um, yeah, so I basically was like, I am gonna end our interaction. I just don't think that we're a good match, and that was it. He actually did respond and basically just was being dumb and immature. Not even like he said anything nasty. It was just like he didn't understand, why I wasn't giving him a chance, and he really wanted to get to know me, and just, yeah. But I just didn't respond because I don't really need to. Like, I already kind of made myself clear on where I stand on that. So, yeah, so I don't know. It's just like a little tip, I guess. Like, if you see this kind of thing with someone, run, don't date them. Because it will save you a lot of time and just emotions and stuff. It will be good to not date someone like that.